Welcome back, class. We're going to do yet another awesome lesson talking about slope and graphs. We're going to kick it off with a video.
It's the first day of summer vacation, and today's going to be a scorcher. You're planning to spend the day at a state park, but you don't have a big budget for activities. So here's the thing. You can pay a flat rate to park here for the whole day. Awesome! Wouldn't it be great to get out on the water? You can rent a paddle boat, but you have to pay by the hour. Okay, so do you now have enough information to find out if you can afford to have fun on the lake from noon until 4? This lesson will show you how to use slopes and y-intercepts to answer this question.
All right, go ahead and pause and create a new entry in your notebook. Make sure you add this to your table of contents. So today we're going to look at slope, surprise, surprise, but also y-intercept. So our EQ is, what is the y-intercept? How do you write equations for relationships based on the slope and the y-intercept? Oh yeah, more slope, that's right. But we're also going to start talking about y-intercept. So you're probably thinking to yourself, hopefully, what the heck is the y-intercept? So the y-intercept is just where the line intercepts the y-axis. So just, where does the line cross the y? So in this picture right here, we can see it crossing at the 2. This picture, we can see it crossing at the 1. And where's it crossing at this picture? Right there at the 3. So that's it. It's where the line hits the y-axis. And it's when the x is 0. That's the y-intercept. Go ahead and pause, add that to your notes. We also call y-intercept b. Slope is m, y-intercept is b, and that's it right there. Okay, so I already know how to find slope. Slope is rise over run, so I need 2 pretty points. I'm going to use this one and this one. I'm going up, whoa, I didn't draw very well, but oh well, up 2 and over 1. And slope is rise over run, so it's 2 over 1, or 2. My y-intercept is, where does it hit the y-line? It hits right there at -1. And so my m is 2, and my b is -1. All right, if I look at this example here, I'm going to find slope first. I'm going to get my 2 pretty points. I'm going to do a little triangle connecting them. My rise in this case is I'm going down 2, so I can write that as -2. And I'm going over 1, so rise over 1. And I get 2 again, but because my line is going down, it's negative. My y-intercept is, where does it hit the y-line? It hits right there at 3. So my slope is -2 because my line's going down, and my y-intercept is 3. Okay, you have your note-taking guide that you have, so get that worksheet out, and we're going to do this example together. Let's start with slope. They gave us 2 points to use, so let's use them. There and there. Let's see if I can draw a little straighter this time. So I'm going to make my little triangle connecting these guys. How far did I go down? I went down 4. How far did I go over? I went over 2. My line is going down, that's why I chose a negative here. So it'd be -4 over 2, which is -2. So my slope is -2, my m, and my b is, where does it hit the y-axis? It hits right there at 1. All right, let's try another example. This one has a funky scale, so always look at the line. Don't assume it's one grid is one point. So if we look here, we can see that this one is going by 5s and this one's going by 1s. So, be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. That's why I like this example. All right, here's my 2 pretty points. I'm going to connect them with a triangle, but my slope is not 1 in this case, even though it's running perfectly diagonal, because I'm going up 15 and I'm going over 3. And my rise over my run is going to give me 5. So my slope is 5. My y-intercept is, where is it hitting the y-line? It's hitting right there at -15. Okay, so in the last lesson, we learned how to take an equation, make up some x values, throw it through the equation, get some y values, and graph it. So we're going to build on that, and we're going to get a little practice in. So if you're computer number 1 through 11, I want you to write down, oh, hold on. If you're computer number 1 through 11, I want you to write down this equation on your note-taking guide and go ahead and plug it through and graph it. If you're computer number 12 through 22, I want you to use this equation right here. And if you are computer number 23 through 34, I want you to use this equation right here. Okay, go ahead and hit pause, use your little guide, and make it happen. Okay, so now we're going to put it all together. If you were the first group of people that did this one, if you're 1 through 11, you should have gotten a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 2. If you were this group right here, that was 12 to 22, you should have gotten a slope of 1/4 and a y-intercept of -1. And if you were the last group right here, 23 through 34, you should have gotten a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of +3, or just 3. So you can check your answer and see if you got it right. And now I want you to take a look and I want you to see what you notice. And please don't hate me. What do you notice about the slope in the equation? What do you notice about the y-intercept in the equation? Boom. Oh, that's so much easier, isn't it? When we write an equation in slope-intercept form, we can see like, hey, that thing stuck to x, that's the slope. And this thing over here by itself, that's the y-intercept. Pause and copy that down. And whenever we use this format, we can tell very easily, hey, that's the slope, that's the y-intercept. And we're going to pay attention to if this is positive or negative, and same here with the y-intercept. All right, so now let's take our example from before and let's write equations for it. So we have this one right here with the slope of -2 and a y-intercept of +1. So now we're just going to write y equals -2 x plus 1. Ta-da! And this one right here with the slope of 5 and a y-intercept of -15, my equation would just be y equals 5, my slope. And then I could put plus -15, or I could just put -15, my y-intercept. All right. Go ahead, and you should have already had the slope and intercept for these, and I want you to go ahead and write equations for them too. Okay, I'm going to see you in class tomorrow. Have the front page of that note-taking guide done for me and have all those notes written down. Make sure you jot down any questions that you have, and feel free to ask them of me when you see me in class next time. And get a good night's sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.